Let's start with the first speaker. Before I call him, I would like to call on her evaluator to read the objectives of speech number 9. So please listen carefully, because one day you'll be doing the speech. Listen to what the objectives of the speech are. So I would like to call the evaluator of the first speaker. She is the current president of Active Minds Toastmasters Club. She's very warm. I call her the cool, calm, and collected Colleen. So please welcome, to read the objectives of the speech, Toastmaster Colleen Lopez.
Good evening once again, fellow Toastmasters.
Good evening.
And to my topic speaker, Reuben. The objectives of your speech are as follows. Persuade listeners to adopt your viewpoint or ideas or to take some action. Appeal to the audience's interest. Use logic and emotion to support your position. Avoid using notes. Your timing is 5 to 7 minutes. And the title of Reuben's speech is Voices. Good luck.
My fellow Toastmasters and dear friends, we've been talking about peace on earth and goodwill to men, and earlier Santa urged us to promote peace. Now what our first speaker will promote today is having peace within yourself. And tonight I'd like to call him. He has been with us for a year, about 11 months. And in those 11 months, he has finished 9 speeches already, which means that every 2 meetings, he delivers his speech. And he has been very, very good at all his speeches. And I'm very proud to introduce him to you. He's an underwriter by profession. Please welcome Toastmaster Reuben de Lima. Now, I would like to call the timer to give the rules.
You went for your speech project number 9, Persuading Power. You'll have 5 to 7 minutes. On the 5th minute, you'll see the green light. The 6th minute, you'll see the yellow light. And on the 7th minute, you'll see the red light. You have 30 seconds grace period. Good luck.
Once again, to deliver his nice speech entitled Voices, please give a big round of applause to Toastmaster.
I hear voices in my head. I start hearing them when I wake up in the morning. I hear them all during the day. And I only stop hearing them when I fall asleep at night. Yes, I hear voices in my head. Fellow Toastmasters and friends, you must be thinking I'm crazy because I hear voices in my head. But if you listen attentively, each of you will find that you also hear voices in your head. But the big question is, what are the voices saying? Unfortunately, in most cases, we hear the voices telling us, I'm not so good, I'm not so lucky, I just wish I would get better breaks. I wish I was as talented and creative as my cousin. I just can't save money, it just gets spent. I just can't focus enough and discipline myself to exercise daily and stay fit. If we allow the voices to talk to us like that and we let our minds run on autopilot, that is what we will keep hearing day after day, month after month, and year after year. I went for an interview some time ago. The interviewer was a highly qualified man with 7 degrees behind his name, including a law degree. Now, I've been blessed with a pretty good education myself. So I went for this interview determined to showcase my talent and my ability to get the job done. Bear in mind that this wasn't a position of that legal officer that I was applying for. Yet this man started asking me the exact textbook definition of legal terms. Define negligence. Define willful misconduct. Just explaining the concept to him in short and then following it with a clear example wasn't good enough for him. He actually looked at me and said, if someone wants to work with me, they've got to be perfect, and you're not. He then actually went on to tell me all that he has achieved and accomplished during his 30-year career. And he ended with, if you want to achieve everything that I have achieved, you have a long way to go. I thought to myself, you're right. Even if I were to work on it daily for the next 2 decades, I don't think I can be as insecure, textbook-oriented, narrow-minded, pompous, and incapable of even taking a simple interview with a kid who's 20 years my junior. But I left the interview that day feeling terribly discouraged. The voices were screaming in my head. You had the perfect opportunity to move ahead in your career. You blew it. You know the economy is down. You know how difficult it is to get jobs in Kuwait. Now you probably have to wait another 2 years before you come across another opportunity like that. You're useless. You can imagine the state in which I was. After 2 weeks of hearing the voices talk down to me like that, I finally came to my senses and said, hey, this is enough. I've got to put my foot down and take control. I've got to change my state, and I'm going to do it by changing my self-talk. Now listen, because this is a game changer. We have all heard of an ENT specialist, a doctor who specializes in the issues of ear, nose, and throat. Do you know why those three are clubbed together? Because they are actually connected inside the human body. Now, just as you have the ENT connection, there is also something called the ear, mouth, and heart connection. Let me explain. When you hear something externally, like me speaking to you right now, this is where the sound goes in from. But if you were to speak something aloud from here, in addition to hearing the sound here, more importantly, you will feel a vibration down here in your heart. There's a beautiful line in the Bible. It says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so does he become. If you were to keep murmuring or speaking aloud words such as, I am capable, I am talented, I have what it takes, yes, I can focus and discipline myself to exercise, I can save money, I'm good enough to apply for that job and go for it. If you were to actually speak these aloud, you will feel a vibration down here in your heart. If you murmur these things under your breath all during the day, maybe while driving, while taking a walk, or just doing chores around the house, in one short month, you will notice a change in the voices in your head. That's because you would have now started replacing those negative voices with empowering voices. And because you have planted those seeds in your heart and watered them daily, that is what you will start thinking, start believing, and start becoming. About 2 weeks after starting to do this, I had recovered greatly from the negative effects of that event, the interview, and I had put it behind me. Today I look back and I think, thank God the guy was like that at the interview itself. Imagine my state if I had to join that company and then discover his true colors. Fellow Toastmasters, and yes, let me ask you this evening, what are the voices in your head telling you? What bill of goods have you sold yourself? What kind of seeds are you planting in the fertile soil of your heart? Are they positive seeds or are they negative seeds? I want each of you to make a decision tonight, no, right now, that you're going to change the voices in your head. You, yes, all of us, we can start to make that change right now. The choice is yours. Ensure that the voices you hear in your head are also yours. Mr. Good.